Yes, be careful that you don't mistake a blank state of mind for the presence of awareness. Presence of awareness is that which knows both a blank state of mind and a chattering state of mind. So be careful that you don't rest your attention on a blank state, on an empty state. It's not, in other words, it's not a focusing of your attention. There are meditations in other traditions where you focus your attention either on an object or a sound or a blank wall or on empty space. That's a different approach. This is not to do with the focusing of attention on anything. It's to do with the relaxation of attention, to be knowingly this open, empty presence of awareness. It's a defocusing or a softening of the focus. So if your attention is fixed on anything, it's only possible to attend to an object. Just make sure that's clear. You try now to attend to something that is not an object, or to direct your attention to something that has no objective qualities. It's not possible. It's only possible to attend to an object. So that is the difference between what is often considered meditation in a progressive path, and this is not a criticism of those kinds of meditations. It's just I'm just making the distinction between them. This is not a focusing of the attention on anything, even on a blank state or an empty mind. It is a resting or a falling back of the attention into its source. It is abiding knowingly as the presence of awareness. That's not something we can do with the mind. But we don't have to do it because we are already that which is aware of our experience. In fact, this meditation is the only meditation there is that truly requires no effort at all. To direct your attention towards an object requires a subtle effort. This approach to meditation is the relaxation of that effort. But you're looking with your attention, you're trying to find something in your experience further back than awareness. You can never find that.
You mean.
Yes, you said something in your question about, I wanted to find something further back. Don't look with your attention for the presence of awareness. Attention can only be directed away from awareness, towards an object. That is the purpose of attention. When awareness wants to know something other than itself, it rises in the form of attention and directs itself towards an object. But that's what attention is for, attending to objects. Attention comes from a and tendere, to stretch towards. Tendere means to stretch. So attention is the stretching of awareness towards an object. But awareness doesn't have to stretch itself towards itself. If I were to ask you now, relatively speaking, stand up and take a step towards yourself, what would you have to do? No, if I said take a step away from yourself, even then you can't really do it. In other words, attention never really leaves awareness. But awareness is like that in the sense that it only needs to rise in the form of attention and stretch itself towards the object, whether the object is a thought, a feeling, a sensation, or a perception. But to know itself, it doesn't need to rise in the form of attention. It just remains resting in itself. In other words, to be awareness is to know awareness. They are the same experience. For awareness, they are the same experience. Being ourself and knowing ourself is the same experience. So don't try to know or find the presence of awareness. You can only know or find that which is apparently not awareness.
So it's not, I mean, what I'm trying to do is recognize something that you were suggesting. And so is that already too much to be doing? I mean, and if it is, I don't know how to do
If I were to ask you
nothing.
the question, are you aware? What would you say?
Yes.
Okay, now where do you go to find that answer? You go to an experience, yes? The experience of being aware. So now I ask you the question again. Are you aware? But this time don't answer it in words. Allow the question to take you to the experience of being aware and stay there. How far did you have to go to find the experience of being aware? Is
Not
it
very far.
not very far? It's not buried in the depths of our being. It's not out of sight. It's not hard to find or hard to know. It's right there. As soon as we're asked the question, am I aware? Yes. It's right there. It's close. You don't have to go very far. And just keep going there. Keep visiting it. Keep resting there. Resting your attention there, rather than wandering with your attention in the realm of objects, thoughts and perceptions. But don't look for something. Think of, this is a slightly strange metaphor, but think of awareness like a disease that you can only know by its symptoms. You can't actually know the disease itself.
So what are the symptoms of awareness?
Peace and happiness.
Okay.
Somebody, a friend of mine, a Sufi friend of mine many years ago, went to a Sufi teacher in London called Irene Tweedy. She died many years ago. Some of you will know about her. And when he went to the first meeting, he asked her, what can I expect from our meetings? Or what can I expect if I stay around you? And she said, I will infect you with my happiness. It's a kind of infection. We don't know, we can't see it, we don't know when we've been infected, but we see the symptoms of it.
Right.
The symptoms are not the thing itself.
Yes.
They're the way they reverberate in the body-mind. So don't look for an experience.